What's up? My name is Ushan, and welcome to my second ever YouTube video on this page where I basically expose myself to the public while I'm scaling my agency towards 100K a month by the end of the year, or that is the goal. Now, in the last video, I wasn't super specific about what are going to be the steps in order for me to achieve this kind of goal, and I actually jotted down a couple of things on this document that you see on the screen. I'll go over that within a couple of seconds, but first of all, I want to brief you guys on what happened yesterday and what happened today so you guys can see that I'm slowly progressing my way to actually achieving this goal. Now, yesterday I collected a 4.2K invoice from a reoccurring client, and I'm still waiting for that money to hit my bank account, but there's usually a couple of business days that it needs to take in order for my bank to process that kind of money and then send it to me directly. And that is one among many other invoices that I'll be sending out this month. So in total, by the end of the month, even if we don't sign on any new clients, we are looking to get to around 20-ish K a month. Once again, it all depends on the sales, because how the agency is structured, and this is something that I haven't told you guys in the last video. We basically charge a retainer plus a small percentage of sales that are attributed through YouTube. And the reason why we can do that is because we help our clients with the funnels, with the, with forms, with VSLs, and with all kinds of stuff in order to have better conversions via YouTube. So that is why we can actually charge a percentage plus a retainer. So it all depends on the sales, but seeing all the sales, because we have the dashboards per client and we can see all of the sales that we attribute directly through YouTube, we are again expecting around 20-ish K a month if we don't sign any new clients. But on a positive note, I actually booked a call with one of my old clients. So you can see here, these are the updates. So I booked a call with a old client and my friend, and he's been really cool to work with. However, he didn't really have a lot of time to record content. He's been super busy with scaling his agency, really big entrepreneur. I can't really talk about his name because I'm not going to expose any of my clients' names, but we're going to have a call on Monday and we are going to start working together once again. So that's going to be another client coming back to us, which adds more to our revenue. So even with that client coming in, it's going to be our record month, but we're going to see. And then we have another call that we booked with another agency who does, I wouldn't say like a similar thing, but they work with creators, do a completely different thing. And they do around, I would say 150 to 200K a month. They work with big creators in YouTube space, and there is a possible strategic partnership that I want to bring up on the call. So I booked a call with the founder and the CEO of the company, and there could be a possible deal for us and for them. It would be for a mutual benefit, but this could be potentially another source of income. So I'll keep you guys updated on how that call goes, but that call is actually booked on Thursday. So until then, you guys will not see any updates on that. Now, to be a bit more specific on what needs to be done in order to sign new clients, to get new people in. First of all, when it comes to outbound, we're going to be sending 5 super personalized pieces of outreach to every individual that we see fit for our agency. And that's going to be Monday to Saturday. And these pieces of outreach are going to be either free scripts, offering a free YouTube video for these people. Even though that might have a huge upfront cost, having a possibility of signing a client and knowing that our LTV is around 12 months is really great, because even if we spend, let's say, like $500 on production, like let's say an edit, a couple of thumbnails, we upload the video, me spending my time in the script will be entirely worth it if we, get like even 3 of these people, spend $1,000 or 1,500, and then sign one client for a retainer plus a percentage. If the client fits underneath the ICP, which it mostly does, it would be worth it in my opinion. So when it comes to like creating the piece of outreach, I'm not going to ask for permission. I'm basically going to send, these people either scripts or thumbnails, whatever they need, whatever I think they need, because off of just looking at their personal brand, off of their looking their YouTube channels or their IG profiles, in case they don't have YouTube, I can expose them to the idea of building a personal brand, and I can send them a script for their first ever YouTube video, and then we can possibly help them create the first YouTube video literally for free. That is something that a lot of agencies probably wouldn't do, but I'm willing to take that upfront risk if it means signing new clients, and this is where I'll be spending most of my time, plus of course fulfillment. Second thing is 1 YouTube video every single week, and this is going to be for Saturday's upload. Now today's or now is actually Saturday because it's midnight. But I need to script out a couple of videos, and I'll be going over the tasks that I have assigned to myself over this weekend. But the goal is really to hit one YouTube video every single week. And these would be like a mix of evergreen type of content plus a bit more, I would say, like top of the funnel, more like for exposure, where I'll be talking about info plus YouTube, and I'll be copying the trends and outliers and, you know, adding my unique twist on it. Now, I'm not going to get like too deep inside of what it takes to make and scale a YouTube channel, or I will be talking about that while I'm creating this content. But now, since I'm going over all of the, or the checklist of what needs to be done and how I'm going to scale to 100K a month, I'll just kind of scoof over it. So one YouTube video every single week, Saturday's upload. Then third thing is stay consistent with X posts and deliver more value. Since I've been posting on X for the past 3 weeks, I've seen a bit of engagement, and actually we've hit 100 followers, which is, you know, fucking great. It's not like super amazing, but it's super cool to see that the account is actually growing a bit. There's a bit of engagement. People are, you know, replying to my posts. There's some positive feedback overall, because last time when I was on X, I was just posting whatever bullshit and none of it got any sort of engagement whatsoever. But now that I'm back and now that I have a bit more understanding to what goes into that kind of content, even though I'm not like a huge expert when it comes to X, that's been great. But I need to deliver more value, and how I'm going to do that is basically create a system where I feed AI that spits out fresh X threads. And really the goal is to, you know, take out these transcripts from daily updates where maybe I talk more in depth about content. It all depends on the update, but basically take out the transcript, add it to AI, train it on how I think, how I speak, and, you know, more on my offer and that kind of thing. So that is the kind of system that I want to make, basically an AI chatbot that will spit out expos. Now, these are not going to be, you know, like amazing, but I'm going to tweak them a bit and I'm going to add a bit of human touch to it, because I think a lot of times AI just spits out pure garbage, in my opinion. So you have to be careful with how you prompt it and how you use it, basically. Yeah, mix it up with some personal content, you know, stuff that I do today, day to day, you know, maybe even adding these kind of posts on my X, something like that. But, you know, I still want to show that I'm human and I'm not leveraging AI as much, and it's not like fully autonomous running on AI, because there's a lot of X accounts that are obviously being ran by AI bots, and that just drives me crazy because it's fucking slop and nobody wants to see that on their feed. Now, things that I'm currently working on is a new VSL, which I've already recorded and it's already in post. I think I will be receiving that within the next 6 days. Already wrapped up, just need to do some quality control, you know, record some B-rolls as well. We're going to finalize the VSL. New website is already work in progress, and there's only some copy tweaks that I have to make, and then we're going to attach the VSL with Vistia on it, and that's it. Then figure out what my USP is for the offer. Now, I kind of know what it is, but I really need to think about this point, because this will decide what I really post on X and what I post on YouTube. Because if I don't have a unique selling point to my offer, then I'm going to be looking like another YouTube agency, and people are going to compare myself to other people, and we're essentially going to compete on price, which is not what I should be doing, actually. So think about my unique selling point more, and once I have that dialed in, implement it in all my content. Tasks for this weekend, or i.e. goals that I want to accomplish by the end of the week: scrape at least 100 dream clients tomorrow, or today, actually, because it's past midnight. Now, this one will be tough because I haven't done lead scraping in a bit, and I know it sucks a soul out of person when it comes to like doing these kind of mundane tasks, but you got to do what you got to do. So scrape at least 100 dream clients, then script out for YouTube videos. I already have the ideas, for packaging, and for the overall positioning of the video, I just need to intertwine it with the new unique selling point, or I just need to ensure that my unique selling point is that, so my content doesn't, you know, look odd and it attracts the actual ICP. So that's the second thing. Then third thing, hop on a call with an editor and reevaluate if he's good. I actually am in talks with 2 editors, and I'm going to have a call with one of them tomorrow. And if he's good, I'm going to onboard him immediately give him a paid trial edit. And then if he does that well, then, you know, he's going to be full-time on my team. If he doesn't do well, then, you know, I'm just going to let him go. That's basically it. My philosophy around like hiring people is hire fast, but fire fast as well. You have to move with speed because money loves speed. And if you make mistakes, if you hire wrong people, that could cost you a lot more than hiring good people, which makes sense. But if I find out that editor or that thumbnail designer or whoever the employee is or contractor isn't a good fit for the company, then I better get them out of the company immediately than to wait, until they really fuck up the business. So that's the third thing. And then fourth thing, stay on top of fulfillment. Be a week ahead with prep, briefs, and scripts. So today I've made 4 YouTube scripts for clients, and it's not as much as many people think, but I've been battling with these 4 scripts, and it's not really an issue usually. But since I've been thinking about like the growth of the business and how I shouldn't really be, doing these kind of tasks that aren't super high leverage, that like isn't, getting me more sales and more clients. I've been distracted by that thought, and I couldn't be fully dialed in on the script itself, even though these scripts came out super well. I had this constant distraction today, so I couldn't really like maintain my focus, and it took me a really long time to complete this. However, I do think that fulfillment is super valuable because this is what retains clients. Signing new clients isn't really that big of a deal. It's usually just maintaining relationships with clients, getting them consistent results, and keeping them for long enough so they can pay you more and more money, and then stacking deliverables as you go. So stay on top of fulfillment. That's going to be, or I'm going to send the briefs to my thumbnail designer on Sunday, plus the scripts Sunday morning. And then as for the prep, that just means prepping out the ideas, clearing out my project management system, which I do all of that in ClickUp. Yeah, just prepping for the upcoming week for all the content that we have, maybe scheduling some videos if we have them already done in the pipeline. That's it. And as for the 5th point on our checklist is plan out full week ahead and craft an in-depth business plan. This is also going to be something that I'm leaving for Sunday. Usually I don't work a lot on Sundays. I usually just sit with my thoughts and recalibrate, try to think ahead, not too ahead, but I think 2-3 weeks ahead, even a month. And I'm trying to picture what are the exact inputs that I had to make in order to move step closer towards the goal. And that is really what Sundays are going to be. Now, I'm going to be doing a bit of fulfillment early in the morning, but that is only to stay, ahead of the task so I can put my full focus towards getting new clients. And that's pretty much it. Once I have this plan dialed in, we'll go together through it once again. But this is just an overall plan. It's literally just 1-page document that I've made literally before making this video. And that's kind of it for this video. I've seen a bit of feedback from my last video. There's about 10 views from the last time that I saw it, which is great. I wasn't expecting any views, by the way, but that's super awesome. I'm super glad that some of you guys enjoy this kind of content. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.